Seems like pretty much everyone liked Dandadan a lot, and I did too, which is good because I got a ton of sus requests for all characters in the show. So today I'm drawing Dandadan characters in 3 lines or less, but each drawing I do gets freakier. First and least freaky, I'm drawing transformed okarun. I'd say this is even less freaky than normal okarun because on top of him missing his balls, the guy's, well, anyway, I'm just gonna do a headshot for this challenge. I start with the hair because you can actually indicate hair pretty easily with big wavy shapes. Okarun has these cool bangs that frame his face, and I think those make it possible to do this whole thing with 1 line, which is good because glasses normally make things kind of tricky. It's interesting that Okarun still even has to wear glasses. Normally getting superpowers fixes that kind of thing, but I like how they're incorporated into his design. Anyway, we've got his giant yokai jaws. My Okarun, what big teeth you have. Whatever are they for? Okay, maybe the transformation is a little freakier than I thought. After that, though, I draw his collar and add some detail to the hair. And yeah, I know that I'm backtracking a lot in this drawing. I've done other 1 to 3 line drawings without backtracking, and it's a lot harder to do more detailed illustrations when I do that. So I was able to draw him in 1 line. But then I decided that I wanted to color and add more details, which I'm going to do with each one of these once I finish drawing them in 3 lines or less. I forgot the red streaks on his face go up into his hair, so I didn't include those here. Oh well. Next up we've got Momo, and they asked for her in a bunny suit, which no, but she does work at a maid cafe in the manga, and I just did a headshot of Okarun, so I'll do a headshot of her in her work outfit as well. Started with her jaw, because unlike Okarun, Momo's hair is broken up by the headband, so I can't just draw a big shape. Then I moved on to the bangs, drew the left pigtail, moved on to the headband, backtracked to finish the bangs and a couple features they cover, like the eyebrow and the nose, before moving to the other side of the face and drawing the ear and the right pigtail. After that, I went through the headband and started drawing the eyes. Once those were done, the face is pretty much finished, so I moved on to drawing the bit we see of her maid outfit, like her collar, her tie, and the shoulder frills. Then to finish up the face for lines 2 and 3, got the nostril and the mouth. I literally just used the fill tool for this one, so it's not really worth the time lapse. Next is Seiko, Momo's grandma, as a goth chick, which I'd classify as mildly freaky. Because technically I'm giving her more clothes than she wears in the show a lot of the time. But as you can see by these examples, that's not saying much. Anyway, this one was a like goal that you destroyed. So here I start with the chest. Some people have asked me why I do this. Neuron activation. Duh. But also because the torso acts as a good anchor for the other body parts, which is important when I'm not drawing something that's just a face. I know where arms and legs are supposed to go, so if I can figure out the positioning of the torso that I'm drawing, then it makes these challenges a bit easier, because I can kind of logically choose where I need to go with my brush. Since I'm pretty much done with her body, I wanted to explain some of the design elements. Her being goth, I decided to put her in this cool corset dress, and instead of having her hair up in the crazy whatever that is in the anime, I decided to have her hair down because I wanted to give her some cool streaks whenever I get to coloring it. Now to draw her actual face. Notable things, she still has those half glasses. I gave her a septum ring and some heavier makeup. This one I wasn't super happy with, so I went through and changed quite a bit. I cleaned up the hair, made the face a bit smaller and more rounded, added lipstick, some lip piercings, a nose ring, and then those streaks I was talking about. I wasn't a fan of the 3-line drawing whenever I finished it, but I was happy with it in the end. Before I move on to the next one, if you're liking this video so far, give it a like. And if you want to see an exclusive version of the drawing I just showed you, along with a bunch of other exclusive art, join my Patreon. Next is Seiko again. Hey, it's not my fault that this series only has like 3 adults in it. Anyway, this time it's going to be her in her standard outfit of a sweater with no pants. I think it's safe to say we've officially reached freaky on the freaky meter, especially since Seiko seems to not wear traditional undergarments and just uses these straps under her sweater. As you can see, I started similar to the previous drawing with the chest and torso, though here I'd say it's a bit more scandalous. Sometimes Seiko wears these tights, so I decided to give her those here because she looked cold, I guess. Anyway, this is just her standard style, so I'm not really changing things up much. Moving on to the hair here, I had a hard time keeping all of that in frame. If anyone can tell me what this haircut is, let me know in the comments. To me, it's like an anime Marge Simpson. Then it's just her face. She's got the glasses, and then here I do give her heavier eyelashes than what she has in the anime or the manga. That's it for line 2, and then line 3 is just a mouth. Now that that's done, we move on to coloring it, rendering it. I just went with the standard colors of her outfit. I think I actually used a fill tool and color picked all of them. I gave her some lipstick, I adjusted the size of her head a few times, added some highlights to some key areas, a little bit of shading. And then for some reason I decided to draw a cool S like a bunch of times. Is that still a thing with the younger generation? Do you guys draw the cool S? Let me know in the comments. Next, raising the freaky ah meter up by 1 we get... Surprise! Seiko again. But the freakiest version I've drawn of her. Let's put this grandma in a bunny suit. So, unlike the first 2 drawings of Seiko, this time I did not start with her torso. I wanted to make sure her face looked good because I wasn't as happy with the face on the other 2. At this point I liked how the eyes and her glasses looked, and I gave her earrings, which I forgot to do on the other drawings. I tried my best to figure out how the bunny ears would sit on the ridiculous head of hair she has, but it's not like I can find a model to confirm how that would look. First line done, second line's the lips, and for the third line I'm going to draw the rest of the body. So first I finished up the bunny ears and the hair, then I move on to her bat that I gave her because Seiko's kind of a badass. And then I moved on to her curves, starting with her hips, then her thighs, her abdomen, and then her chest. Seiko smokes frequently in the series, so in her other hand I gave her a cigarette as the final detail. For the colors on this one I just color picked from the other Seiko drawing I did. But the emphasis here was actually shading. I wanted to work on some rendering techniques. So a lot of the time lapse is just going to be me erasing and redoing a lot of the shadows. I debated whether or not I wanted to erase the shadows on her hips, or if I wanted them to look more like she was wearing nylons. But in the end I ended up forgoing that. Then I added some highlights, just to spruce it up a little bit. This is the last one I'm drawing of Seiko. For now. So let's move on. This last illustration is the one that I got the most requests for, and is by far the freakiest. That's right, Turbo Granny, in a bunny suit. Why do you guys keep requesting sus drawings of old women? So first I started with the bodysuit. I wanted to hold off on drawing the head or the arms or the legs because, well, this isn't exactly what they asked for. See, I wasn't really interested in drawing an old lady. I know that I just drew Seiko 3 times and she's an old lady technically, but it's different, okay? So instead of drawing that, I drew Turbo Granny's cat form. And since the cat form can't really fill out a bodysuit, I used Okarun's Kintama to fill out the chest area. Since Turbo Granny is kind of a prankster when she gets into her cat form, I decided to give her a pretty smug expression. That's the first line finished, and the second one I just used to draw her second eye, though I did forget to give her her other set of whiskers. Oh well. So yeah, here we have Dandadan, but freakier. We started with the innocent, kind, albeit depressed Okarun, and ended with the super freaky, but not as freaky as you wanted, bunny suit Turbo Granny. I hope you like this. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you want more videos like it. Till my next video, stay creative. So says Doom.